thanks for the e-commerce connect team for inviting me. So as mentioned, let me share the screen. I think everyone is seeing that, right? This is Albert from Zendesk, and I'm a sales territory manager in Zendesk for Iberia, Portugal, and Spain. And what we are going to talk about today is how to make an impact. Not only, I mean, the main topic today, of course, is in the e-commerce industry, but also how to become a champion in customer service. As for the times being, the most important now, I believe, is how we look after our customer and how we can improve the customer experience, how are our teams performing, and so on, right? So I usually start with an agenda, but this time I wanted to bring up a first impactful slide, which would be this one, okay? So one of the things that we are seeing, we can see, and of course, as you guys can see here, e-commerce is one of the most impacted industries during COVID, for example. But what we can see is that the fast growing industries are the ones that are shaping the customer expectations. So the customer is every time getting more demanding. So whatever you guys will do around e-commerce, this is going to define the customer's expectations across even the other industries. The technology they are using, what the channels are the customers expecting to get in touch with you, and so on, right? So that it's going to be key, and that this is why I'm presenting today how to be really good on customer experience, and how we can and how can we improve those customer experiences, the processes, and the approach we're having with our customer. So as an agenda, at first of all, what the first thing we should understand is where we are. We are coming from a period with different changes, as I said before, different customer expectations. So let's review what's the customer experience trends during this 2021. What is the customer expecting, but also what are the teams that are working in customer service expecting, right? Then just to give a quick overview of who we are in Zendesk, what can we do for you guys, and how to become not good, but really good in customer experience. So we have defined in Zendesk for this 2021 5 different trends that, in my opinion, in our opinion, are the ones that are going to define our strategy across the customer journey, right? So the first one is that we've seen that the main topic this year is the customer experience. As I said before, of course, and this is the main topic of my presentation, not internal operations, not sales. The main topic is how we can increase the loyalty of our customers, how we can improve their experience, how we can increase our customer base. The main topic here today is how, all our strategy around customer experience. The second one, which is also really important, is that we are jumping into a conversational world, which means that, as I said before, the customer is more demanding. They want to get in touch with different channels. They want to reach you out from phone, from Twitter, social media, WhatsApp, email, etc. So we also have to move towards a conversational strategy. Emphasis on agility, not only how we approach our customers or how they approach to us, also how are our teams working together, right? Then the future of work. How are we setting up our teams to work in remote? Which solutions are we providing to our teams to be more efficient? What are the managers' expectations here? So the main trends around here. And then the digital typing point, which is basically that with all the changes that we have all suffered and seen, for good or for bad, which we learned a lot, we are moving towards again a digital world, and this is going to be also key in the presentation. So as I said before, I love numbers, so this is what I'll bring up in this part of the presentation. We have to understand from where we are coming from to then define our strategy. In terms of customer experience, what we've seen is in Zendesk, across different industries, across different customers, what we've seen is that the 49% of the companies that are high performers, and by high performers, we could talk about that they're increasing their revenue, that they're being efficient internally, that they're having different channels, that they're increasing their CSAT, etc. We've seen that all of them are using an omnichannel approach, which means having 2 or more channels, not only the email, not only the classic forms, activating the social media, activating a chat in the website. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It is important to have as many channels as the customer wants to reach you out, but it doesn't mean that we have to open them all in our main website. For example, just open the chat or put WhatsApp or put phone calls. What we have to do here is to play strategic. So we should have as many channels as the customer wants us to want them to reach us out, but we have to play them strategically. Then second one, as I said before, we are moving towards a conversational world. So what we've seen so far is that, for example, the usage of WhatsApp has increased by 190%. Why WhatsApp? I could give many examples from most of our customers in Iberia. As you can imagine, for example, I'm not sure if most of you may have some chat in your website. We are talking about e-commerce at the end of the day. But what we've seen so far is that, for example, during COVID, even those companies that were having retail stores, that then they were moving to a digital world, e-commerce, etc. The chat was basically overloaded from requests from customers asking, hey, where can I find my closest shop? This is closed, where I can get a refund. So we have seen that WhatsApp, which is a channel that has the customer is expecting an answer in more time than the one they're expecting in chat. So for instance, if we are connecting on an e-commerce and we are writing a chat, we will probably expect an answer for the following, let's say, 15 seconds. But if you connect through WhatsApp, you may expect an answer for the following 2 hours, right? But if you write an email, we are going to expect an answer for maybe, most of the customers may think, okay, I'm writing an email, but I'm going to get an answer maybe in a week, maybe in 2 days. So that's why it is important to leverage the different channels we have. Next one, the different priorities we are having internally. It's not only important how we work with our customers, it is also important how we work internally. And here, what we've seen so far is that the main priorities for managers is not only customer satisfaction, but also how we can adapt quickly to the changes we have. And by this, it means to adapt our solution, adapt our channels. For example, we have implemented on industries with a lot of requests, the chat of Zendesk in 2 days, for example, or other channels or other strategies. So here, the key is how we can understand the changes we have in the industry, but how can we adapt quickly? So that would be the main priority internally. And then in terms of how we can set up our teams for success, I would say that what we've seen so far is that the companies are trying to find solutions to increase the employee productivity. A solution where we can handle all requests from the same place, a solution where we can have a 360 view, a solution where we can collaborate with other teams, everything that is gonna increase our productivity. At the same time, we're getting a lot of requests. And at the end, what we've seen so far, as I said before, we're moving towards a digital world. It is also important to find solutions that are gonna help your teams collaborate and work together from home, from the office. So the agility we have to find here. So we may have also in e-commerce, as I said before, it is an industry with a high volume of requests. We may have different challenges, like most customers saying, I can easily access support from companies. Agents are saying it takes too much time to solve that request. teams that cannot collaborate together, that are losing context. I could put many examples of different challenges I'm seeing across different industries. At the time we have to answer those requests from the customers, or even provide a better customer experience, right? So this is actually what Zendesk is doing. Now I'm moving to the part I'm just gonna try to tell you what are we doing on a high level. This is actually what we are doing, right? Zendesk is a company that was born in 2008. And what we have in our DNA is the customer experience. Zendesk was born from the point to understand what does the customer need, what does the team need, and then trying to build a solution around that. So as I said before, our HQ is in San Francisco, but we have offices around the world, and our main expertise here is the customer experience. As I said before, well, what we are trying is to build a flexible solution that can be scalable, that can help the teams. But when I'm talking about flexible, I'm always trying to understand and trying to say that Zendesk can be adapted to different industries, to different departments. We have use cases of support, internal support, external support, customer service, support to stores, support from stores, e-commerce departments, digital departments. So Zendesk is a platform that can be adapted across different industries, across different teams. And this is an example just I wanted to bring up in terms of flexibility. So just a quick reference, Gartner is also, as I said before, it's an international consultancy company that they are comparing different solutions in different fields. Zendesk has been for the last 5 years in a row, they're #1 in digital customer service. And at the end of the day, for me, that's one of the most important slides that are defining Zendesk the best, is that Zendesk is a family of products. So what we are bringing is a solution, an omnichannel solution. And there's differences between what it is a multi-channel approach and an omni-channel approach. And the main difference is the way you can handle all communications with the customer through different channels from the same place under the same format. So for instance, we could handle communications from tickets, and by tickets, I mean like could be complaints, could be requests, could be questions, from email, web forms, an FAQs portal, a chat, phone calls, WhatsApp, social media, any kind of channel that could be integrated in Zendesk. What is important here is what is the customer requesting, the content, not the channel. Then we'll play strategically in how we set up the different channels. But the important here is to manage the same communications under the same format, because what really matters is the content. Okay, so we are not also bringing a solution where you can have a 360 view in terms of channels, where you're going to have a quick overview whenever you're going to get a request of, okay, that customer got in touch with me through email 10 minutes ago. They called me 2 days ago. So you are always having the context, no matter with which team they got in touch with. But what we are trying is to also provide you a 360 view of the information you guys are having across different systems. And for instance, in e-commerce, this is one of the most important things. I'm sure most of you guys are working with a Magento, a Shopify, a PrestaShop, or even a self-customized CRM. The idea here is that Zendesk is a flexible platform that is allowing you to bring context in terms of channels natively, but also in terms of the different information data you're having from the customer in all the different systems you may have. And this is possible with our marketplace, where we have tons of applications around not only like the different connectors with the e-commerce solutions, but also any kind of solution. For example, as you can see here, MailChimp, so we can see and we can have context about the marketing campaigns we have launched to the customer, etc. So, or if not, we can also build the same connector. So, as I said before, all this flexibility is possible because Zendesk is built in AWS, Amazon Connect. We don't have a proper language. this giving us the flexibility to deploy teams, to deploy channels, to change the strategy at any time on a record time. We don't have a proper language, as I said. It's JavaScript, HTML, CSS, which is letting you connect with other systems, which is letting you customize your own platform. The idea is that everyone is having a different use case. Everyone is having a different strategy. How we can set it up to make your customer, your company succeed with the customer experience strategy. How we can help your teams to collaborate together to provide that quick and faster support, and of course keep the business synchronized with all department strategy and align it with the customer expectations. So, as I said before, yeah, this is the end, 20 minutes. What I would say here is the customer is getting higher expectations every time. We don't have to be only good in customer service. We have to understand our customers, and we have to be really good. And as I said here, grow further and faster and become a champion in customer service. Thank you everyone for being here today. At your disposal.